Oh, hold on. Bucky Larson, other than paying less taxes, I don't see any other benefits to marriage as a man. Ladies, what do you bring to the table to convince me and Brian to get married? We'll get into that in just a sec. Thank you, Bucky Larson, for the message. And I'm just going to read this other one that just came through, and then we'll get back to Bucky's question. Appreciate it, man. Way off base. The headline reads, local man robbed Wendy's with an alligator. I stopped and said out loud, what did you just say to me? Shane Smith is funny as hell.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I've seen your stuff. I've seen your stuff before. It's very funny, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And are you doing any shows here in California while you're out here? Or?
No, I came out here as an excuse to surf. And so I was like, I'm going to come to Santa Barbara and do some stuff.
Yeah, nice.
You from Salt Lake?
I'm not from Salt Lake, but yeah, I'm in Utah. We'll say that.
Okay, cool. So, by the way, Robert Tanner, thank you for the gifted memberships. I think you sent in 50 a little bit earlier, man. Really appreciate it. Back to Bucky's question. So he asked, he doesn't see any benefits to marriage as a man. Ladies, what you bring to the table to convince me and Brian to get married? Well, one question before we get into that. Just show of hands. Who here wants to get married? Show of hands. So that's yes. That's everybody except you. Well, you were already married, so maybe you had a bad experience. And then who here wants to have kids one day?
In between.
No kids. Okay, all right. Was that a kind of a
No,
iffy?
I'm just putting it
you
down
too.
in a weird way.
Okay, so and you said you want to get married, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So Bucky Larson asks, I guess I'm kind of the sole man out here besides Peachy.
Peachy.
Don't want to get married. You guys do want to get married. I'm ready for you guys to try to convince me why I or other men should get married.
Like
Any takers?
First of all, I don't know why we have to convince you to get married, right?
You
if
have
we
to.
have to convince
You have to convince me.
then it's not going to work. We're going to get a divorce. That's 100% the case. You
Well, no,
cannot be
you-
convinced to do something you don't want to do.
You convince him to get married, then he's committed to the idea. Now he commits to a
So
woman.
he changed his mind because I changed his mind permanently.
And then the relationship with the woman, and he commits to her. So you're not convincing him to like walk down the aisle tonight. You're convincing him to acquire the mindset in order to get married and have a successful marriage.
The only way I can see 100% guaranteed commitment of a guy with a girl is if I pay you a certain amount of money. We have a legal document say if you cheat on me, you're gonna lose a toe or something. Then I think you're never gonna cheat and you're gonna be committed 100%.
I don't think that's how that works. There are spies. There are people who risk their lives to betray the people who pay them money to like there's men aren't
I
motivated
think it's
that way.
more likely that a man cheat out of commitment than like some man like trying to like hunt him down in your situation. If that makes sense.
I'm so sorry. I don't.
Oh, sorry.
understand.
I guess never mind. Yeah, I just feel like that's the only way you can guarantee a man doesn't cheat. That's the most likely way.
Wait, how
in
do
a
you
way.
guarantee it?
Physical bodily harm.
No, physical.
Threatening him with signing a contract.
Yeah, contract, legal
Implied.
binding, and like monetary value. Because you cannot convince love. I cannot convince anybody to be committed to me. But I can have a legal document that say you cannot say these shit, you cannot do these shit, you cannot touch another woman. That is more bonding
You
and
are
more
not
likely
very
to
convincing
obey.
at the
Find a good
moment.
person.
That's true, but if they want me to convince them, I don't know if you're a good person
You're
or
not
not.
very
so-
good.
Your plan
Convincing
has
people.
flaws. For the first entire half of my life, I broke the law for a living. Like a contract isn't going to make a
Is it
guy obey.
more-
The prison is full of people right now. They do not care about
Let
contracts.
me ask you a question. If you don't want to marry this girl and she wants to convince you to marry her, is it more likely that you cheat on her? Or is it more likely that you betray the contract?
In this scenario where you just proposed, I agree.
Yeah.
That man shouldn't. You should just
Right.
not be together.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
But this question phrase that we need to convince these two people. And these two people are not in love with any of us.
No. The question isn't to convince them to marry each other,
No.
or for Bucky to marry Brian, which would be awesome. But it's to convince Brian of that the concept of marriage is good and he should be open to
Why
it.
would
That
he
it's about more than
be
just
open
taxes.
to marriage?
Like
yeah.
yeah.
Why would he be open to marriage? Why is it such a wonderful idea to get married?
Like Peachy, why don't you want to get married?
Yeah.
I am not so cynical that I say I will never get married again. I have been burned. I will go into it with a lot more thought
So when
the
you,
next time around.
do you
There
are
has
you
to be
open to a relationship
no
currently?
question whatsoever.
Yeah.
I want to find like my soulmate.
Sure.
You know?
So you are looking for the man you want to marry. You're just saying
Scared
that
of
it's
the
like,
marriage.
that you have incredibly
I would
high
be
standards.
very hesitant. I would need to like just wholeheartedly believe that
This is the one.
this is like meant to be.
Yeah.
But that's
But you
and I just-
desire to meet
desires
him.
that you want to have.
Yes.
So you do want to get married. You
Yes.
just want Prince Charming to do it, which is fair. That's fair.
I wouldn't be able to like convince someone because I don't even understand all the rules and what everything would mean and that. But I just think it would be so nice to meet someone. We adore each other so much. We just want to do everything that's possible. Have kids, get married. Like my mum and dad have been married for like 36 years, and I think it's the best thing in the world. And I think you just have to naturally want that with me. I can't tell you, oh no, because if you marry me, then this and that. I don't even know.
Yeah,
what the
that's
rules
my
are.
point. Like, you
Can I
cannot
ask a
convince
question?
someone
Yeah,
of love at all.
Why don't you want to get married? I'm just curious.
Yo, Robert Tanner, thank you for the gifted 50 memberships, man. Really appreciate it. Good to see you in the chat. So why don't I want to get married? Well, I guess let me lay it out like this. So my view is, absent both partners having a religious worldview, be it Christian or Muslim or Jewish or whatever it is, I actually don't see, from the secular viewpoint, actually any reasons, at least from the male perspective. And I suppose it's not even so much the male perspective as it is the breadwinner perspective. I don't actually see any reason to get married. Like, if anybody can make an actual secular argument, and I'm not sure this is a super Christian panel to begin with, but I can't think of any actual benefits to the man or to the breadwinner when it comes to getting married, at least that outweigh the risks. So for me personally, there's nothing that I can get in a marriage from a woman that I can't get in a monogamous long-term relationship.
I have a hot take. I think might change.
Wait, hold on. Let's let her answer, then I'll let you go.
Sorry, I was just gonna say. So it's a follow-up question actually. Have you ever been in love before?
Sure, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's say everything was fine and dandy with that relationship. You wouldn't want to be married with that person, even though you were in love with them till this day.
Well, I'm not sure that's really, I don't know if that's really an argument.
Like,
you love them,
hypothetical.
thus you must marry them.
But if she wanted
But
to,
is she good enough compared to because I mean, something that I think about is if you're not committing to marriage, you're open to other options, right?
Well, aren't you open to other options even if you're married?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, marriage does not preclude one from infidelity.
No.
Yeah.
What about ritual marriage? Your issue is legal marriage. What if you were with a woman you loved and she said, no papers, but let's go have a priest or like a guy or someone marry us?
cute, I like that.
Well, I would have to actually investigate what the law actually says to that. Would there, even though it's not through the state, are there any legal implications to even getting a purely ritual marriage? If not, it's perhaps a little more enticing, but then I still don't really see the point.
Yeah.
I struggled with this.
There's
for a while.
data that shows men who are married like live longer, have better outcomes long term, and are healthier. But I can't like say that doesn't also apply to a long term, very committed, monogamous secular relationship.
Why is
Giving
everybody
yourself a
so
bit of
scared of the
structure and
cheating
you are-
stuff? I hear everybody say, oh, we have to have a contract, you have to do this and this. Isn't marriage about a wonderful, loving commitment? Like, the man is the man, like, typical speaking, you're the man of the household, like what you were saying, very manly. The woman is in her feminine state. Together, you get married, you have such a wonderful pact together, such a wonderful, lovely, powerful thing. You can give that on to your children. You can be the woman, you can be the man, you can still be the breadwinner, but just like out of love. Why is everybody here so afraid? Oh no, he has to have a contract for cheating and stuff. If a person wants to cheat, he's going to cheat.
Sure.
Yes.
But I
Well-
think marriage should be about love and
Well,
everything
Sure.
that's
So
wonderful,
what's
not
your point?
Because
contracts.
your argument usually is you can get most of what you can get in a marriage outside of a marriage.
Correct.
I want to bring this to the table, and it's probably a crazy thought, but I think men in a marriage should have reproductive rights. If you actually get married legally, you should be able to have a say on whether or not your wife can get an abortion or not. I don't think it should be like you can just decree
So a
she can't or
contracting
not.
again.
But it should be more of a conversation. You should have rights.
Well, I mean, so in this hypothetical scenario where, but I mean, that's not an argument. That
But, like,
really
if it was
doesn't
a
pertain to the
possibility.
well, no, hold on. That doesn't pertain to the conversation at all because that's not the law as
That's
it.
fair.
So in a marriage, a woman should just be my slave legally, but that's not the case.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm advocating for. But that's not how it is.
can I
so I
add
don't see how it pertains
But
to the
I
actual
do
conversation.
believe what you're saying. I
at
believe
hand.
that a man should lead in a marriage.
No, but I'm more so making a criticism of.
Yeah.
She's saying, well, men should have this right in a marriage, but they don't, and quite frankly, they never will have that. So
is that an
it's kind
American
of like,
thing?
yeah, wishful
Contracts?
thinking.
But if it was a
Can I
thing,
add
would it
something?
convince you?
For me, well, but okay, so you're saying the wife, she wants to get an abortion, but I don't want her to?
Yeah, you'd have more of a right to be able
Well,
to
wouldn't
stop
that
her.
be such a mismatch of values that would not be the type of woman for me to
Yeah, I guess
to
I just
marry?
think of the scenario of when a woman's like, "Yeah, I'm ready to have a kid," and then they get scared after getting pregnant and they freak out and make a
But that would
rash
so
judgment.
if you're as a man, if you're pro-life and the woman is pro-choice, that's just an immediate mismatch of
That's fair.
of values. So I don't think that
It would even work in the
I
don't think
appreciate
it
what
would.
you're saying.
I think
but
I
I
have
think that
something
in
that-
practice it is kind of like I don't think that would be.
It'd be a whole ordeal for sure.
Yeah.
But go ahead,
So
Isis.
you said that you can get all the benefits without the marriage. It may be true, and if it's true, what essentially you're saying is you're selfish. You're not willing to give out any part of you for a woman because you can get all the benefit. But marriage might be a financial security and a legal security for this woman. So this is exactly why I say you cannot convince you. We can never convince you because fundamentally, if you're selfish, I can't convince you to do something unless there's a value I'm providing you with, which is some kind of contract or money. Or let's say I'm a billionaire and you really want to be like a 500. This is a hypothetical situation. Then I'm like, oh, we're dating, and I'm like, okay, you have to marry me in order to get certain things. Then I think I could convince you. But if you can get all the benefits without marriage, why would you do it? It's against human nature, and it's not possible.
But why do you think it's selfish? If a man doesn't want to get married, why is that selfish?
No, I
maybe
don't
he's
think it's-
protecting himself. Maybe he's just still a very good provider. He will
Because-
still take care of your children. He will still be there. He will take care of everything. Why is that selfish?
If the